Civil lawsuits can cover a wide range of disputes, from business disagreements to defamation to alienation of affection. But when you enter wrongful death territory, the stakes grow 10 times. Now we're talking about the loss of human life. And a big question that always comes up is, why isn't that being handled in criminal court? And honestly, that is a fair question, but the answer is not always that simple. In the case of Shanquella Robinson, the 25-year-old woman from Charlotte, North Carolina, who lost her life in Cabo San Lucas in October of 2022, no criminal charges have been filed yet against anybody in connection to her passing, in the United States at least. In Mexico, that's a different story, but we'll get into that. That doesn't mean that there aren't legal avenues available. This is one of them, a wrongful death suit that was filed by Salamandra Robinson, Shanquella's mother. In this video, we're going to break down that complaint so that we understand everything that has taken place, the allegations so far. Just a trigger warning, this is involving some pretty heavy subject matter, so just please, viewer discretion is advised, and my typical legal disclaimer applies here. I am a certified law nerd, bona fide non-attorney. This is not legal advice, simply my interpretation of what I'm reading in the court record. Let's begin. According to the complaint, Shanquella Robinson traveled to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico in October of 2022 after being invited on what was supposed to be a vacation with friends. On October 29th of 2022, the lawsuit alleges that Imani Green, formerly known as Dejanay Jackson, violently attacked Shanquella inside the villa. The complaint claims Shanquella was naked during the assault, she was unable to defend herself, other people in the room watched and recorded the attack instead of intervening, and that the attack allegedly continued for several minutes. According to the complaint, no one contacted law enforcement immediately. Hours later, medical assistance was requested. When a doctor arrived at the villa, the complaint says the group told the doctor that Shanquella had alcohol poisoning and dehydration. The doctor reportedly recommended immediate hospital transport, but the complaint alleges the group refused to authorize it. The lawsuit claims this decision denied Shanquella life-saving treatment. Eventually, emergency responders arrived, and Shanquella Robinson was pronounced dead at the villa. According to the autopsy report that was referenced in the complaint, Shanquella Robinson's cause of death was spinal cord injury and atlantoaxial luxation, meaning a dislocation of the neck vertebrae. The complaint alleges those injuries were caused by the physical assault. The complaint also alleges that after Shanquella's death, the group quickly left the villa, returned to the United States the next day, and told Shanquella's mother she died from alcohol poisoning. Weeks later, video of the assault began circulating online. The complaint claims the defendants knew the footage existed and did not warn the family before it went viral. Then the complaint includes several civil claims, including wrongful death against Imani Green for allegedly causing the fatal injuries. Also battery against Imani Green for the physical assault captured in the video. Negligence against all 6 defendants for allegedly withholding critical medical information and refusing hospital treatment. Civil conspiracy for allegedly working together to conceal what happened, and emotional distress for the alleged release and circulation of the assault video online. Now, there are several damages being requested. The lawsuit is seeking $2 million for wrongful death, $2 million for battery, and $400,000 per defendant for several other claims, including negligence and conspiracy, plus punitive damages and other relief. As I mentioned previously, this complaint originally had claims against the Department of State and the FBI. The allegation made is that they did not handle the extradition process correctly when Mexico sought to extradite one of the individuals, Imani Green, for charges for femicide, which means the killing of a woman based off of her gender. The lawsuit also alleges that the FBI refused to properly investigate and then later refused to turn over investigative records so that they can follow the trail, but that unfortunately was dismissed up in the U.S. District Court, so what remains is the lawsuit against the defendants themselves, which is being handled out of Mecklenburg County Superior Court. And while civil cases cannot bring forth criminal punishment, it is important that we understand what it does do. It forces discovery. That means documents, any investigative reports, testimony, any evidence that can be compelled through this court process can now become available because of this pending court case. And so that can shed new light on information, that can help revive investigations. There is hope in that regard, and so this legal avenue makes total sense. With that said, we already have an update in this case, which is why I decided to jump in and do a full recap. I will be posting that video here shortly. It's just buckle down because there are 6 defendants, and so there may be 6 different motions at different times. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. It's just before a trial date is set, we might see a lot of movement in that court docket, and I think that it's important to help break that down as it starts to play out. As always, I will keep an eye on the docket, and I will catch you in the next video.